Welcome, this is Peter Voogd, author of the best-selling book, 6 Months to Six Figures, and founder of the prestigious Game Changers Academy. And welcome to the Game Changers movement. So today we're going to talk about something that has made a profound difference in my success, in my energy, in my standards, in my income, in my influence, and it was the biggest thing that took me from being stressed and discouraged and broke to a six-figure income when I was 22, 23 years old. And a lot of you guys know my story, you've read it in my book, but the reality is I remember being in a one-bedroom apartment with nothing going right for me. I was working 80 hours a week, I was not getting results, and I lived in a one bedroom with literally no box spring, just a mattress, no furniture, and enough was enough. So I started digging into my computer and all the notes I've taken from different conferences, and I absorbed all this stuff, asked myself, what is the difference between those succeeding and those failing? And I really went on a journey. And I saw a quote that really changed the game for me, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If you want to talk to, or if you want to be a millionaire, who do you talk to? And the answer is billionaires. You'll get there quicker. And the reality is, I don't mean literally talk to billionaires. I mean, if you want to make 60 grand, talk to people already making 100. If you want to make 100 grand, talk to people making 7 figures. I realized everyone I was around had a mediocre mindset and was holding me back and was okay with mediocrity. So when I started elevating my circle of influence, it took me to a whole new level. And Success just released a new survey they put out for thousands of people, and they asked them what made the biggest difference in their increased results the last couple months. And 22% said waking up earlier, okay? 22% said making a plan, and 16% said writing their goals down, 3% said delegation, and 37% said learning from other achievers and elevating their circle of influence. So this is a huge key. Now, before I give you the deep dive tips, I'm gonna tell you why it's important to elevate your circle of influence, to get around people playing the game at a higher level, and to totally shift who you're around consistently. First, shared wisdom. You can share wisdom with other people. You guys can bounce ideas off each other. And if you're having a tough day, they can pick you up and they won't let you off the hook. They'll hold you to higher standards. Opportunities will arise for you. Maybe to speak or maybe to connect with other people that are congruent with your industry. But when you have a higher level of circle of influence, there's a lot more opportunities that come your way. Increased income and influence. When people see you around other high-level people, it increases your influence and your respect. And of course, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most as far as income goes, so you'll start to see your income standards rise. A big one is cutting your learning curve in half. When you elevate your game and learn from people that are at a higher level, you can cut your learning curve in half. Great entrepreneurs learn from their mistakes, okay? But world-class entrepreneurs like you and that you want to be, they learn from other people's mistakes so they don't have to make the same ones. They can cut their learning curve in half and get to their goals faster. And lastly, it's lowering stress and raising awareness. You have the power of anticipation on your side, which means they can tell you what's coming up because they've been through that. So it raises your awareness and it lowers your stress. So here's the key. Right when I got stressed out and I was discouraged and I realized that I needed to shift my circle of influence, I made a list of the top 5 people in my industry I want to reach out to. The top 5 in my industry. So right now, think about what industry you want to be in, or what area you want to go master, or what area you want to dominate. Go research the 5 best people doing what you're doing and reach out to them. Be persistent. In my book, the 6 Months to Six Figures, there's a script that you can use literally to copy and paste to reach out that's been very effective. So reevaluate. First, make a list of the top 5, reach out to them within the next 7 days. Then evaluate who you're spending time with and how they're influencing you. They're influencing your thinking. How are they influencing your standards? How are they influencing your actions? You have to ask these questions. And then I want you to make a list called the Make It or Break It list. And on that list, there's two things. There's the growth friends you have and the maintenance friends you have. And you wanna make a list of all the maintenance people that kind of you hang out with because you have to, or you've known them since high school. They don't challenge you. You don't leaving feeling empowered. They're just, they're there. And then you wanna make a list of your growth friends that challenge you, that make you think bigger, that make you feel unstoppable, and overall shift your standards at a higher level. Okay, and the key here is lowering the time you spend with your maintenance friends and increasing the time you spend with your growth friends. And lastly, you always have to have role models. I think our society is short on role models and it's not talked about enough. So you gotta have people that you really wanna emulate, that match your values, that you can see yourself being like, and take very few opinions. And don't take opinions from those that you wouldn't trade places with. Not literally trade places, but have a world-class family life, world-class income, great bank accounts. They have influence. They have a brand that outlasts them. They're living life on their terms, and they're living fully and maximizing their success. Overall, not just business, but every area. So pick some role models that you can emulate and you can study so you can start taking their traits and start basing things off their standards and people that you respect standards versus societies or everyone around you, okay? So who you associate is who you become. So make sure you're shifting your influence starting today, because that'll make a huge difference in your overall success and standards. Talk to you soon. If you got any value from these videos and you're part of the select few who are serious about elevating their game and becoming a game changer, I've created a free deep dive training for you along with some great resources, and I'm also gonna give you the weekly master plan I personally use to plan my weeks. Just click the link above me and you'll get instant access. Make sure to pay it forward by sharing, subscribing, liking, and commenting on what's impacted you the most. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I'm very focused on giving better free content than what most pay thousands of dollars for, and this is no different. And I assure you, this training will change the game for you. Here are just a couple things that you're gonna learn in this deep dive training. First, it's the 6 bulletproof steps you must take to create your first 6-figure income within 6 months. And I've done it in 4 different industries, and it really dives deep on exactly what steps to take. You're also gonna learn the daily routines of the world's elite performers. You're gonna find out why they get 10 times more done than anyone else and how they create more free time than the majority. Lastly, you're gonna learn what multimillionaire Gary Vaynerchuk personally taught me years ago that changed the game for me and was my biggest aha moment. Very powerful stuff. So make sure you subscribe, share these videos, and if you want the free training, click the link above me to get instant access, and we'll see you on the other side.